Hello everyone, my name is Samantha. If you have not seen any of my other videos, I'm a Reiki master, psychic, a channel, an intuitive, and a reader, and I am here to share messages of love, light, and wisdom to you all that will further allow you to anchor and harness these energies into your life and to activate DNA within yourself. So, I like to start my videos off with all of us taking a deep breath. You can do this with me if you like. If you don't want to, you definitely don't have to. I just like to do this as a way to calm and center ourselves so that we are better yet able to receive this unconditional love, light, and healing energy that I have to share with you all. I openly admit and recognize myself as being a divine vessel for love, light, and wisdom to come through straight from me to anyone who would like to receive. So if you would like to, we're going to take a deep breath now. In through the nose, filling your entire stomach or belly up, and then out through the mouth. All right. Allow yourself to move to your heart space and open your heart. Allow your heart to shine very brightly and understand that this is your power and it always will be. Alright everyone. Woo! I apologize for any noise in the background as well. It is 4th of July as I'm recording this, so there is some fireworks and my AC also just cut on. I also have a 3-year-old, so if you hear any kids in the background, that's him. Anyway, what I would like to talk to you today is about self-healing. Being able to heal and alchemize emotions, thoughts, and patterns within yourself, and also holding the space for others to do the same. So first, I would like to start by saying that it is through awareness that we are all able to navigate this earthly plane in such a way that is beneficial for ourselves and all others. And yes, it is possible. Being selfish does not mean that you have to take away from another or that it does harm to another. Everything is a co-creation between yourself and other beings. We can do things in a way that is beneficial for ourselves and all others. You just have to hold that intention, and you will slowly but surely over time start to see that happening in your daily life and start having ideas on how to handle things and insights. You just have to stay open to it, you know? So in order to create a life that is for the highest good of yourself and all, it is best to stay heart-centered or with an open heart, aka through the viewpoint of unconditional love. And the reason for that being is that that is inclusive to not only yourself but to all in all things. And you may say, well, maybe I don't want to include all things because you probably think of all the bad things, you know, and maybe the bad people that are out there. But furthermore, when you are in a space of unconditional love, you recognize that we are all divine beings expressing ourselves in physical bodies. So even the homeless man on the side of the street is a divine being expressing himself in a physical body. And we are all of the divine. Even the emotions and the things that we do that are quote unquote less loving are creations from the divine. If we created it, it's a creation from the divine. And from the perspective of unconditional love, everything is looked at as a creation from the divine, even if it may seem to be cut off from the divine or not, or lacking love. so to speak. And from that viewpoint, that is correct as well. But understandably so, everybody has free will, and everyone has their own right to create whatever it is that they would like to create. But if you, like myself, see that being careless or unaware in your creations can cause havoc of some sort in the world around you and even in your own life, then it's wise to create from a space of love, unconditional love, and with the intention of your creations being of the betterment for yourself and all others, as I have stated before. So, yeah, being from a space of unconditional love allows you to make decisions that are for the betterment of yourself and all others, and also helps you to heal and alchemize things within yourself and your own patterns, and holds a space for others to do the same. And this is important in the world today, because I think we all have seen how certain creations, even though they are divine, are not for the betterment of those people or all others. And if you are like me and you see this, you might want to be of service, be more of service to the betterment of yourself and to the planet. And understand that even if you take what I say and only apply it to yourself, you are still doing a great service to the entire earth. For what you do and the vibration you carry vibrates throughout the entire cosmos. So just know that even if you only apply this self-love tactic with yourself or to yourself, even though if you really do apply it to yourself, you'll naturally start applying it to other people. But even if you only focus on applying it to yourself, then you're still doing a great service. So thank you for that. I would like to start off with how it is do we do that for ourselves? How do we love ourselves unconditionally and come from a heart-centered space? Usually things like this don't happen overnight. It's usually an active practice, like a moment to moment, everyday to everyday practice. I myself even have to consciously practice this as well, because there's so many programs and beliefs that have been instilled within me living in this society, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one, but it takes a while to undo all of that, and with love and in a heart-centered space. But it is a practice that is worthy of practicing, I would say. Just changing the world step by step, nothing big. No, so a good way to look at this would be that when you come from a place of love, unconditional love, especially with dealing with yourself, it allows you to view obstacles or things in your life in a higher perspective. It allows you to see the reasons why things happen and to be able to grasp the lessons that those things have to teach you. Everything has something to teach you if you are available to listen. For those with eyes to see and ears to hear. But so when you have an emotion such as sadness or loneliness or even anger or any other type of emotion that you wouldn't consider to be of unconditional love, you, in order to heal and alchemize these emotions and or thoughts, this even applies to thoughts or even cycles that you actively play out in your life. When these things arise, you allow them to express themselves fully. You give them a voice that you may have always shut down in the past. A lot of us, when we feel sadness or anger, or loneliness, we like to shove it down, shove it to the side. But that does nothing but create more momentum in that emotion, and it wreaks more havoc on your mental, emotional health, your energetic health, and causes things like cancer and other diseases sometimes. So in order to heal, you have to feel. You have to allow yourself to feel these emotions that you may not be so fond of, and allow them to have that voice to express themselves. Ask them, maybe, how can I be a better service to you? You know, how can I help you to express yourself? And usually they'll cease to exist after that, because I mean, what's the point of coming up to be heard? You know, well, not what's the point, but when something is coming up for light to be shone upon it, that's not even a word, whatever. It wants your attention so that you can feel it and recognize the lesson that it has for you, whatever it is that it's trying to get your attention for. And when you say, oh, what can I do to be a better servant to you, that's you putting your full attention on it, allowing yourself to shine the light on it, being a conscious observer of the things that arise within you. So back to what I was saying, you allow these things to come up and express themselves fully, and in expressing themselves fully, when you try to stay in a heart space, when you try to stay centered in your heart space, it allows you to view those things from an unconditional love perspective, in knowingness that that is still a divine creation, and therefore allowing you to see the lesson that it has for you to learn, or whatever reason that it has come up for. So, and then when you come from a space of unconditional love and compassion with those things that arise within you, for the emotions and thoughts and even cycles that you catch yourself doing, you allow those things to be released from your energetic field, allowing you to be lighter and more at peace and more at ease with yourself. And with cycles, it's the same thing, except you kind of have to make a conscious effort to not allow yourself to fall back into those same cycles again. Because once you learn the lesson, what's the point of repeating it? You know what I mean? But if you do, that's perfectly fine. You will not be judged for that. We're all human. It's not that easy being human all the time, but you know, you do the best you can with what you have, and that's just the truth. But if you come from a place of unconditional love and you allow those things to be released from your energetic field, you have just healed yourself in a very miraculous way, and you have also alchemized those emotions, thoughts, and feelings within yourself to vibrate to a higher vibration and to be a higher vibrational feeling, thought, emotion, and cycle. So you've done a great service for yourself. Also, this can apply obviously with dealing with other people as well. When you allow yourself to hold the space with other people, then that allows them the opportunity to be able to do the same for themselves, and it allows you to be the teacher and allow them to take heed, you know? Let's see. Okay, so practicing, well, it's best to practice this with yourself so that you are easier able to do this with other people. I know from experience with myself that doing this with other people is kind of harder than doing it with myself, only because of the way I was conditioned and brought up in the society. Like, I know a lot of you were. There may be certain people, types of people that you have issues with doing this with, like narcissists or homeless people or people in jail or people with bad intentions, and that's perfectly understandable. I'm not condoning that you be around people that do not have your best interest in heart and that cannot reciprocate the love that you have to give to them, because that's just not wise in my opinion. But you can, if you are around those types of people, always hold space, a loving space for them to vibrate higher. And just as much as negative people want to stand in their negativity, or just as certain as they are about their negativity, you be just as certain about your unconditional love and positivity and high vibrational being. You be just as certain, because the last thing that you would want to do is to meet somebody at their negative or lower vibration, for them to come at you with negative vibrations and for you to meet them there, instead of meeting them in unconditional love and high vibration and allowing that energy to be alchemized and rise to a higher vibration. Not everybody will reciprocate the same energy you put out, and not everybody will be so quick to receive the love that you have to give them, and that is perfectly fine. You have done the best that you can, and you have done your part, and wash your hands. That's all you can do. But like I was saying, a good way to spread this love, or just be of love, or hold this unconditional love and stay in your heart-centered space, is to recognize that everyone else is also divine and of the divine. We are all just divine beings living in human bodies, expressing ourselves in this way at this moment in time. And so that's perfectly fine. People have a free will to do what they want with their time here on earth, and that's perfectly fine. We cannot control what anyone else does. We can really only hold a space for love the best that we can for ourselves and for others. The more you do it for yourself, the easier it will be for you to do it for others. But I know that I myself have been guilty of this, but with homeless people, when you're at a stoplight and they're on the side of the road with their sign, or you're coming off the freeway and there they are with that sign, a lot of people try to look away and act like they don't see them, like, oh God, I hope they don't ask me for money. That's understandable, but understand that these people had some way gotten raped of their dignity. They probably are not happy, and they probably are kind of ashamed to be standing on the side of the road. Even if you don't have money to give to those people, the best thing that you can do is offer them a sense of humanity. Look them in the eye, smile, even wave. Hell, you can give them a hug if you want to. But allow them and show them that they are still a divine being, that they are still human, and they are still worthy of love no matter what their circumstances. The people that are quote unquote doing the worst in life are the ones that are in need of love the most. Those are the people that probably beat themselves up inside their own mind the most out of anybody, So the best thing that you can do for somebody in that circumstance is to at least, recognize their divinity. Look them in the eyes, smile, wave, whatever. Make them feel loved. Make them feel like they're human. Not like they're, some animal. Even animals deserve love, but I mean like a monster or whatever that you're scared of, because they're not, So that's another thing that I have been learning, and that I've gotten through spirit recently. But so let's say you get in an argument with someone, or rather they get in an argument with you, because if you're holding a space of love, then I highly doubt you would get into an argument, right? But let's say they feel offended by you, or they just don't like you for some reason, and they feel the need to yell or curse at you or something or another. A lot of our reactions, simply put, would be to move out of our heart space and try to defend ourselves. Understand that this is the ego. It's perfectly normal and fine to have an ego. I would say that the way that you express yourself, though, is important. I wouldn't condone being abusive or mean or rude or whatever towards another being in general. I understand that a lot of us are quick to fall back into those old patterns, and it does take a while to get out of that sometimes, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm speaking of getting out of these patterns and learning to get out of these patterns. So, when you encounter a situation like that, the best thing that you could do for yourself and the other person is to stay centered in your heart space. Stay centered in that unconditional love knowingness. What they are doing is showing you, throwing up these parts of themselves that need to be healed and need love within them. So the best thing that you could do for that person is allow them a space to alchemize and raise their vibration, to switch from their ego mindset and into their heart space. And the way that you could do this is, instead of yelling back or trying to fight, you could simply look at them and tell them thank you. And if you don't want to say thank you, you can think of another honest compliment to give to them. Not something sarcastic like, oh yeah, that's cool, you feel better about yourself, I love you anyway. Not anything like that. You could say something like, I appreciate you expressing yourself with me, and I accept you how you are no matter what, and I wish you the best no matter how you feel about me at this moment in time. And sincerely mean it. And they might look at you like you're crazy or whatever, but you have just allowed yourself to be of the highest service to another human being. You have just allowed alchemization to occur within yourself and within the other person and for the other person and hell, for the world. It's like it could be a domino effect. They could start doing that to other people just because you've done that to them, and bam, you created a ripple effect that created all these crazy loving people that don't get into arguments with people anymore. But you know what? It's all for the betterment. It's all for the betterment of all involved. So I'm not saying that you'll ace this with flying colors the first time something like this happens to you, but like I said, it's a practice, and don't beat yourself up about not being perfect at this, about failing to show up in unconditional love and in your heart centered when somebody else isn't doing the same with you. Try to stay in a unconditional heart-centered space with yourself, even at the times that you slip up, because probably one of the worst things you could do is continue to be out of your heart space and to continue to talk down on yourself and criticize yourself for not making the right decisions. It's okay, we're human, it's a practice, So back to what I was saying, it's good to hold a space for others, for them to be able to heal and alchemize, and that better serves the world. It serves more than just you. It serves everyone else around you, and it can become a domino effect if you would like it to be, but if not, then that's perfectly fine as well. We all have free will. But that's about all I have to say today. I really enjoyed this video, and if you like my content and would like to hear more from me, you can subscribe if you would like to. I'm gonna put links below linking to my social media accounts if you would like to follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You guys can message me, leave comments, whatever you want to do. I love hearing from everyone. I'm a very social person when I want to be. So yeah, just maybe comment some video ideas below, or anything else that you would like to say. All is welcome. I love you guys. Peace, love, and light to you all, and I wish you the best on your journeys. I hope nothing but goodness for you all. Thank you so much for watching.